Mummies of Guanajuato. Preserved Terror. Chronicle of the restless souls of Guanajuato. In the heart of Mexico's Bajío region, where the land has drunk the blood of minds and the tears of history, stands the city of Guanajuato, a colonial jewel nestled among golden mountains. But beneath its splendor and vibrant architecture rests a sepulchral echo, a whisper time has failed to silence. There, on the threshold between the macabre and the sacred, lies a sanctuary of death, the Museum of the Mummies. This is no ordinary museum. It is a temple of the inexplicable, an altar for bodies that time dared not consume. The origin of silence. It was the 19th century, and death had a price. A decree, as cold as the slabs of the municipal cemetery, declared that those who didn't pay tribute for their loved ones' eternal rest would see their dead unearthed, stripped of eternity. But the earth cast its own spell. In that mineral-rich, arid soil, the bodies did not decay. They were preserved. And so, without meaning to, a gallery of the condemned was born. The first was Dr. Remigio Leroy, discovered in 1865. His features still sketched. The story of a soul, not yet ready to depart. Many others followed. Faces marked by dread. Expressions frozen in an eternal second, between flesh and void. In 1969, the city opened the museum's doors. And ever since, thousands have crossed that threshold, unaware that not everyone leaves unchanged. The screaming woman, among glass cases and shadows. One figure stands out. A woman, whose face seems to have screamed so long that time itself silenced her. Mouth agape, eyes wide in horror, her soul trapped in a moment of pure terror. Legend says she was buried alive, that she awoke in the darkness of her coffin, clawing at wood, pleading for air, and that panic sculpted her expression as a warning to the living. On full moon nights, when fog shrouds the city like a funeral veil, some swear they hear her cry pierce the museum walls, a wail that chills the bones, a plea still echoing through the corridors. The eternal infant. Near her lies the smallest mummy, a baby who seems to sleep, though his rest is far from peaceful. Museum staff have heard weeping in the gloom, tiny footsteps in the halls, as if a little soul played among the dead. Some say he searches for his mother. Others say he never knew he had died. And when the breeze drifts through the displays, cradling the air like a cursed lullaby, many cross themselves before moving on. The curse of disrespect. But not all heed the warnings. Some, defying the unseen, have dared to mock the body's time as honored. And the price always comes. Mark, a foreign tourist, learned this the hard way. He posed for photos beside a mummy, mocking her grimace, making fun of her silence. Hours later, a car crash nearly claimed his life. And when, while recovering, he reviewed the photos, the mockery had vanished. In its place, the mummy smiled, not with joy, but with a demonic grimace. In her eyes, those eyes looked straight into the soul. Mark never laughed again. The cursed family. There's also the story of Carlos, Laura, and their children, Ana and Luis, who visited the museum as part of a cultural trip. But Luis, the youngest, made the mistake of laughing at the dead. After leaving, he began complaining of headaches. Then came the nightmares, the whispers at night, the shadows dancing by his bed. Misfortune settled over their home like an invisible plague. Illness, loss, failure. Eventually, they returned to the museum to ask forgiveness. They brought offerings, prayed through tears. Only then, slowly, did the weight of the curse begin to lift. The photographer in the shadow, Javier, a professional photographer, was hired to capture the essence of the museum. But death does not allow itself to be photographed without consequence. He ignored the warnings, used flash, did not ask the dead for permission. The cameras failed. Batteries drained as if something consumed them. The photos, when developed, revealed more than he had seen: a shadow, a dark figure, following his steps, behind him in every shot. Years later, sick and forgotten by the industry, he burned the photos and swore never to return. Legacy of the living death. The mummies of Guanajuato are not just bodies. They are witnesses, guardians of a threshold few dare to comprehend. They are mirrors, reflecting our ancient fear of being forgotten, of waking in the dark, of screaming with no one to hear. Their stories live on because they do not rest. Because in Guanajuato, death is not an end. It is a presence. And so, among dusty glass cases and whispers carried by the wind, the visitor faces an ancient truth. Death does not forget, nor forgive. And in Guanajuato, death stares back. Subscribe to our channel for more Luz y Leyendas.